What's good, guys? Welcome back to SH. Here we are. I swear, either me or Andy can't catch a break. I got sick to start the week and I got cooked. So I could, not able to record. But again, 2 episodes back to back for JJK. JJK is cooking. And I guess before we get into it, I guess we should also say JJK is going on a break next week for the Olympics. Japan, the animes are. And Free Run is the other anime that's not airing next week as well.
Yep, the Winter Olympics are important, and they usually do this anyway for big national type games or whatever competitions that Japan's ever in. So it was expected. I didn't actually know about it until Omar told me, but since we're basically doing this bi-weekly, it doesn't really affect us too much. So we'll catch you guys on JJK's next one in 2 weeks, where we'll review whatever episode comes out. So how are we feeling about? Because we're basically gonna be talking about the Hikari episodes.
Yes, yeah, or at least the second Hikari episode. We did do the first one already. It was elite. Like it was just like, I really thought we were about to get like a hands thrown fight, but Itadori's like, nah. Like he had the Naruto fit on. He said, "I ain't swinging. This is my version of talk no jutsu," and it worked. Like I'm sure you also saw like the pictures and the memes of like, look at this guy, and this has to be like a reference, which JJK's done like a lot in the past,
yes,
to other animes. So it's like it was like a really cool nod to see it, and it was a really like interesting point. It also like JJK also did its thing where it's like, yeah, these fights are beautifully animated, but look at the logic. Fujigaru and Panda had to figure out how to fight, and it was really fun.
Yeah, the fight was great. I like seeing Megumi actually pull fights instead of being Mr. Potential. We've seen a lot of this was kind of one of the ones where you actually see how smart he is in battle, but also where like the luck comes in, where it's like, yeah, your power is on the constellation of the South Star, and then they have a whole like 2-minute dialogue of like, oh dude, I just gave it away now, and his face gave away that now that he knows that he was right, and it's like, I like JJK, dude. We're in the serious version is the thing. Yeah, the thing is that we were so stuck on the serious times of it that that it just brings out the comedic timing a lot more when they pull off the comedic timing, because you're like, bro, like, what is this? It's freaking goated. But yeah. How did you like the fight between them and all that?
I don't know, like I really, like, again, you hit it on the nose. Like the comedic timing was really good. Of like, and she like smacked her face. She was like, "Damn, I messed up.
Yeah,
I gave it away." And then it gave you like the different options that could have been. It was like the rock paper scissors theorem, the jumping star theorem, and it ended up being the soft cross, and having to figure out whichever cursed energy had more cursed energy, the other things would be drawn to that, and instead of vice versa. And it was really cool for Megumi to figure it out, saying I was only able to figure out because I focused my curse energy more to block, and the opposite effect happens. He was able to figure it out. And then Panda being Panda as always.
Yeah,
fun times.
He's pretty great as like the distractor, but also I like seeing the relationship between Kirara and Hikari, where it's like she's like, "Yo, everything's good now." Like you recognize his passion. He's like, "Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. Damn, you got me. I guess we're gonna have to talk now." But he goes into
also
episode, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But before, I think it's also like a little comedic, but it gives to show how like Gojo is him. Like they're like, huh? What do you mean he's sealed? Like that's the reason they started fighting, because they didn't believe that Gojo was originally sealed to begin with.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You're right, because they did have in the whole segment episode. It's like, yeah, so Gojo's sealed, President's dead, and I'm in charge of the Fushiguro. I mean, what is the clan called? The Zenin clan.
There it is. Zenin.
And dude, Hikari is a goated character. I've already decided that. I know what his capabilities are, and everybody's gonna love his character. And now he's going to go fight the random guy that we saw that managed to get 200 points, which is how the last week episode ended, being the guy with 200 points making 2 rules of, yeah, so now we can see everybody's points and stats. And then I think that's actually, I think he only did 1 rule. I don't think he did 2. I don't know.
No, yeah, he only made 1 rule. They just showed it twice. It's just the fact that now you can see a player's location, points, and name.
So that was I like that concept still of just like, yo, it's battle royale. It's literally just it's Fortnite. Yo, you have enough coin, you got enough gold bars to go buy something. Well, good job. You can spend 100 gold bars and make a new rule. And then as always, we saw in these next episodes, they break it down and they're like, okay, so now what are we gonna do? All right, so we're actually not gonna kill 100 people or fight 25 like other Jujutsu sorcerers. We're just gonna make a rule to that people can transfer their points to other people. That way we can like subvert the rules. And I like the direction they went with it, because it's like it's not like a yo free for all, everybody kill them, like everybody just fight and die and kill, because it's like that's just not how Itadori is. I mean, they're just like, nah, let's be smart about it and let's just go beat the people with the highest scores. And it's like, bro, these fights are gonna be lit.
Yeah, and like I also like appreciate, because like that was Itadori's biggest thing. Like, bro, I don't want to go back into a role. I have to kill more people. I don't want to do that. And like it did in such a way where it doesn't really feel like an ass pull, but it also feeds into who Itadori is as a character.
Yeah, exactly. No, I completely agree with you, especially after everything that he has gone through. He just does not want more blood on his hands.
Exactly. So that leads into the very next episode. They go into Tokyo, District 2 or 9.
So the way they split it up, I believe, is that Hikari and Panda went to District 2 to go fight. Megumi and Fushiguro went to number 9. So basically, because each sorcerer that had 100 points were in each district, and like, all right, well, Hikari was like, yo, the guy that has 200 points, clearly he's like, I'm going to box him because he's a strong guy, but I got him. But so then we go from there, and as they walk in and they're basically like entering the battle arena or their little colony, they get transported instantly to some random place, and they like basically find it's crazy how many rules or like twists that they do, because you're thinking, oh cool, we're gonna see some crazy tag teams of Itadori and Megumi just working together and fighting and stuff, and it's like, nah, you gotta land somewhere else, buddy. You're going to Tilted Towers, and I'm going over here to the Apocalypse Farms. Like we're like, I'm telling you, when I called it the Battle Royale arc, it is for me the Battle Royale arc. It's too similar.
Yeah, and you're absolutely like you're not wrong at all. And they're separated, like as you said, and off rip it was like box,
bro.
And I also the fact that they also like they put it in a way that like, hey, by the way, you might see secret rules now that that aren't main rules, but like there's a secret rule that the moment you enter, you're flown into a different direction. That there's no guarantee you're going to be in the same spot,
bro. So I think about that, and I'm like, it's so funny too, because it's like, because it's such like video game aspects when you think about it. It's like, yeah, we have the noob killers, the people who are like, because you think of like this too. Think about a normal person that's like, you know what, man, maybe I want to be a player. You know, I'm gonna stay. And then they have to figure, and then they're in the air as a regular, like they're dead on the spot. It's like, I'm thinking of the unlucky person that's just like, yeah, you know what, I think I can gain some cool power, get me some money after I survive. Nah, I'm just gonna die to my death, or like get hit by an actual woman that is a jet that freaking shreds me. Like
the people that are AFK when they start.
Dude, literally, it's literally how I would be, just AFK killing, bro. Give me that XP, as they would say, bro. But how do you like all these like cool, like the way that powers are, like they're very, very different. Who would have thought you would see two people that their power is in their hair that turns into a jet and into a helicopter?
It was giving quirks, and I rock with it so much that they're different. It's different. Like it's just so different from what like you expect. Like you like they made not contract. Contracts is not the word I want to use.
Restriction.
They use packs. They made packs.
Yeah.
To be able to have like cursed power and it's interesting, and I really rock with it. It's just so different. JJK has done a great job of having a power system at its base, and then just like not getting away from it, but then just like expanding, and giving like little mini things here and there, where it's like, I know you didn't expect this.
Yep.
Granted, it was built to ask like that.
Yeah, but that's what makes freaking Itadori so good, because it's like, yeah, everybody, this person has a literal jet hair. The person inside of you can cut more buildings. What you can do is punch really hard. It's just like, I mean, I guess we're gonna. That's why they call him the boxer, bro. He's out there. He just throws hands. That's it. We didn't forget to mention that we were revealed that Itadori was actually a player before he even went into a colony because of Sukuna.
Yes, so I did want to ask before we did wrap this up, how did you feel the fact that there are other beings like Sukuna that are going to be around, because they made pacts such a long time ago that the next time these games happen, they were going to be revived to be able to play again, essentially.
Well, so the thing is, it's like, there's going to be a lot of players, right? But as literally throughout the episode we see, it's like, yeah, it's not only the old guys that are going to be tough, because the old guys have now influenced all the present day Jujutsu fighters to be like in a bloodbath. And it's, when I was reading it, it was like, okay, well, but we know like Sukuna was like the big dog. So it's, in my head, I'm always like, who cares about number 2 until you start seeing more people like come out to fight, and you're like, just because you're not at the peak, you're not on a Gojo Sukuna level, the peak up here, doesn't mean you're not top tier. And that's something that was like, that I feel like is shown a lot more, because if Hakari's over here and he says that he can handle ancient warriors, then I gotta see these skills. It's gonna be great. But also, I wanted to say real quick, I never caught the theory that was this already pre-made. As you saw, like Megumi had like that moment where it's like, wait, but I saw you like voluntarily eat Sukuna's finger, so there's no way that they would have known. And it's like, wait, like, was Itadori eating that? Was that voluntary, or was that like in a form of like some destiny, some like super pre-planned stuff? And it's, you haven't seen Bleach, Omar, and I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's a villain where it's literally, he's like, yo, everything you did, I planned it. And I'm like, is this also one of those moments where it's like a big villain has planned everything ahead? Even now, like, that's why I love watching the anime, because it helps understand more when it's a lot of text, especially with JJK, as we've seen, like the rules and the abilities. It's not someone reading it to me like in Hunter x Hunter. In Hunter x Hunter, it's people like, this guy's explaining to me the abilities, but with manga, it's like, yo, I'm reading a biography right now, guys. Like, I'm understanding what is happening, but that's why I love the anime, dude.
I think it's very interesting. It's just the first thing that comes to mind that was like pre-planned would have been Madara for Naruto, but Madara's plan was so stupid, and there's like no reason, like canonically when you break it down, there's no, like, the day we do Shippuden, I'm going to rant about it. There's no fucking reason that plan should have ever worked. There's so many things that should have went wrong for that plan, but somehow went right. And even loop, whatever, that's near there. So I'm really interested to see how they explain it, because if it wasn't for Itadori's like personality of saying like, no, I'm going to live the life I want to live, and this is gonna be power, so fuck it, we ball. Like, if he didn't have that personality, then like someone else could have eaten the fingers. So like that's also interesting. But I will say though, it's not very so often that someone's like, you know, I want to box Sukuna. Like, where is he? I'm gonna make a roll to find him. So I'm also just seeing the power skin that's coming. Yeah,
it's going to be lit. Also, how do we like the weird? Like, we kind of see not in a sense, but it's like the humanity of Kenjaku being like walking the innocence out, being like, hey, like, you're in a dream, like in between reality and dream, but like, I'll walk you out of the zone. Like, basically shooting each civilian from like the monstrosities that were happening around them, because that's basically what it was. It was like an illusion that he casted, I guess, on each person, being so they couldn't see it. And then he hit the line of the club member, like, and also, thanks for being a friend to my son. And it's like, bro, Kenjaku's a complicated character. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll say it's like, I feel like this is the second time, because when Gojo got sealed,
Mhm.
you saw a bit of the humanity again there when he was like, "Oh, I'm chilling. I know I'm about to get sealed, but like, I'm just curious to know how long Geto's gonna allow this to happen."
Mhm.
And you saw the irritation from that body.
Yep.
And so like, it's still like theoretically like Geto's dead, but it's like
Yeah.
theoretically like his presence is still half-assed in there,
Mhm.
and that's also something I'm curious to see how many times that comes out.
Yeah, yeah. It has been interesting. But then we are left off in the episodes as we're going to the end. Yuji obviously is boxing people. Finds someone that's like, yo, I know where. Well, Hiruguma. Is that the name?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, basically, he's like,
And
I know where the other
then
person you're looking
Megumi
for.
remembers, yeah.
And then Megamin has this girl that I guess he punched off camera. Off camera. And that's also like, oh, don't worry, I know where this guy is. And then they both said 2 different locations. Now,
Yeah, it's who got lied to.
Now, who got lied to? The thing is, people who do watch the next time on know who got lied to. So, obviously, Omar, who do you think got lied to? Since you don't watch it at all, who do you think is falling for the trap, and who do you think is telling the truth? We're gonna see if you can get this right.
Itadori got lied to.
Okay. All right. Well, we will not know, but we will see if he was right or wrong 2 weeks from now. Is there any final comments you want to say about these last 2 episodes?
Nah, I'm ready. We're both healthy, and we're just gonna keep it rolling. Once JK comes back, as long as we're both healthy, we'll be back to regular scheduling. 2 episodes in a shorter week, I promise. As long as we're both healthy,
yes,
we'll get back to it. But we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.